Okay, men, we're back here in Micah 6:8. I hope you've enjoyed this. I mean, these are just some scriptures that challenge us as men, and they're written to men. It says, He has shown you, O men. You see, this is written to us men. What is good, and what does the Lord require of you? But to do justly. That means treat people right. To do the right thing by people. Don't try to take advantage of people. And to love mercy, and we talked about that covenant loyalty, being somebody that's loyal to your covenants, your covenant with your wife, your covenant with your church, covenant with your employer, and to walk humbly with your God. And we talked about yesterday, God becoming your God. But it says once He's become your God, you've got to walk humbly before Him. It's amazing to me how many men, and it seems like it's more men than women, that it seems like how many men seem to think sometimes they're smarter than God. It seems like they think they know more than God, because you'll tell them what the Word says or tell them what they're supposed to do and say, well, I don't think that, well, I think this, or I believe this, or I think God is this way. Listen, walking humbly before God means you exalt God and you exalt His thinking. Maybe another way of saying it, it means you're teachable, you're instructable, you're somebody that God can get some new information, you're moldable, you're willing to adjust. You're almost looking and saying, God, is there anything in my life that needs to be fixed? Is there anything in my life I need to be doing different? How am I doing treating my wife? How am I doing in my walk with you? How am I doing at church? And keeping a humble heart, a humble attitude. You know, the opposite of humility is pride. Pride is a powerful thing. Pride makes you think you're right. Pride makes you think you're greater than what you really are. Pride has a way of exalting yourself and making you think you're better than other people. Where humility is, you think you walk humbly with God. You realize He's great and you're small. And you're looking to Him and say, God, is there anything that needs to be adjusted or fixed in my life? I just finished a conference that went over great, and we had a great time. But you know, I still called my pastor who was part of this conference and said, Pastor, correct me. I mean, there's nobody else around. I want to know, is there anything you saw that needed to be corrected or adjusted? And I'll be honest with you, if he told me anything, I would have said, thank you, sir. I'll work on that. Now, fortunately, he said, no, Tim, I can't find anything to be critical about. And I thank God for that. But I'll be honest with you, there's times in my life, and as well as your life, I'm sure, there's some things people could be critical of. And really, if you're walking humbly with your God, you're able to be taught, you're able to adjust, you're able to say thank you when somebody adjusts something and says this needs to be fixed or that needs to be fixed. What does God require of you? To walk humbly, be teachable with your God.